Hello and welcome to another video of How to Research. I am Professor Lauren Ball and I do these videos called How to Research that are aimed at helping emerging researchers to feel confident about the work that they do. So that might be someone doing honours or a master's or a PhD, or someone who's starting off a research career, say as a postdoc or early into their work as an academic. Today I want to talk about LinkedIn, and that is because I've received quite a few questions about the way that I have crafted a LinkedIn presence, including posts that I do and the monthly newsletter that I write, which is called Research Questions, and I have a link to that newsletter here as well. Before I talk about today's video, I want to just do a plug that the topic of the videos I do is really based off the comments and questions that I get from research students or people in my team that really give me ideas of videos to make. So if you have a question or a suggestion, feel free to drop me a DM here on YouTube or on Blue Sky or LinkedIn, or even just find my email and send me an email. I have had a LinkedIn profile for quite a while, but I started the Research Questions newsletter in February 2023. And looking back, this was really when LinkedIn started to take off as a place for researchers to share their work, say in preference to some of the other social media platforms. I found that the more that I started sharing just things that came across my desk with regards to research, the more that I was engaging with other researchers on LinkedIn. And now I have, I think it's about 5,500 followers on my profile and just over 2,000 subscribers to the monthly Research Questions newsletter. Many of the people I'm connected with I know in real life, whether it be here at the university or people I've met at conferences. But then there are others from, say, researchers in other countries or in other fields who share a lot in common, particularly when we talk about what it means to have a research career as well as navigating the research process. In the LinkedIn monthly newsletters, I've written about a bunch of topics. I think I've done about 25 or so, but covering topics such as mentoring, imposter syndrome, how to get a grant, what to do if your grant's rejected, as well as some questions that I've asked that might look at research in a different way. So for example, what if we thought of our team as a production system, as well as how many projects are too many to have? Some of the things that I think about on a day-to-day basis, or the curious questions that other people have asked me. So the content on LinkedIn is really aimed at people who feel comfortable in their research career, and it's my way of trying to challenge the status quo, as well as impart some of the principles and values that I think we should have as a research community onto those who might care enough to listen or read my work. It's a bit different to the content of these how-to research videos, where here on YouTube I'm really trying to give people the confidence who are doing things for the first time or starting out in their research career. So I do have a bunch of suggestions and questions that people ask me, and that helps me to think about the topics that I'll write about each month. I have a recurring calendar invite in my diary which helps to keep me on task. I start to think about a new topic, say 2 weeks out, and I really talk in my team or with my colleagues about the topic and the angle that I want to take on the next newsletter. That probably takes me 50% of the time in the preparation, because once I have really nailed that and I'm confident with what I want to say, the actual writing part doesn't take very long. You might have seen in some of the articles they're pretty conversational in style, pretty informal, and really it's about getting key messages across that I'd like others to think about. I've found that the LinkedIn newsletters have been quite important in communicating my work to other people. I've had plenty of people stop me at the coffee shop on campus, or even just write me an email to say, hey, I read your newsletter. And sometimes the feedback I get from people is it's not always about the messages that you have in your newsletter, but it's just about being consistent with the frequency to show that you have an active presence online. And really that's communicating its own message, which is that I'm a researcher who is dedicated to my work and I really care about the future of our research community. There are other groups who also do newsletters on research topics, so I'd encourage you to check them out as well. But I have had feedback from people that there isn't a newsletter like this that's really asking the critical questions about how we internally organise ourselves as researchers and really think about the approach that we take to our work as researchers. It's a little bit different to say how to go about conducting research to a high quality or getting the most out of research investments. The newsletters are really about these internal questions that sometimes we are even a bit shy to ask out loud. I have heard from people who want to start their own monthly newsletter, and that could be on LinkedIn or it could be on another platform like Substack. I would say go for it. It's really exciting. I have found that the discipline it's taken me to continue to reflect on my own thinking has been really valuable for my own development. So I hope that that's the same for you. But also I do hear from people who are quite nervous about being online and being confident in what they might post or say. And so a tip that I use in order to keep myself on task is to think about the key messages you want to share with your audience and then stick to that. LinkedIn does seem to be, at least for now, the place for researchers to connect together in a safe place and welcoming way. So I'd encourage you to have a look at your own profile, make sure it's up to date, and think about your activity on the platform. I've found it can add a lot of value to your own sense of connection to others, and that can only benefit all of our work. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful and enjoyable.